I do hair for a living, and so it was very hard at my job. You know, when your hands are numb and you're trying to hold scissors or shampoo someone's head and they're thinking, wow, it's a little rough, and I'm thinking I have no feeling in my hands, which majority of my clients knew that I had it, and I would just say, okay, my hands are tingly today, so if I'm scrubbing too hard, let me know, or whatever. But I knew I didn't want to give my job up because I enjoy it. So by wearing the Carpal Solution, I was still able to function well at my job and keep my career instead of, like my orthopedic doctor had told me, that I needed a career change, and I just knew that wasn't an option. So by wearing the Carpal Solution, I was still able to keep my career and do what I love. I had the Carpal Tunnel Syndrome Symptoms. Mainly at night. I had tingling, numbness, but I also had it during the day. I had tingling during the day, numbness during the day. I also had problems picking things up, holding on to things. I got to where I would carry my groceries on my arms instead of just by my hands because my hands were so weak. And a lot of times they were numb all day, so I couldn't, I think I would overgrip things because I wanted to make sure I held on to them. So by wearing the Carpal Solution definitely helped give me the strength back, and most of the numbness is gone, and can just kind of function everyday life, all of that you take for granted. The numbness and the tingling of the carpal tunnel is terrible. If you've ever experienced that, it's like pins and needles in your fingers, and you have no feeling of what you're trying to grab onto, or if you're trying to hold something or lift something. I can't tell you how many of my dishes I broke from not being able to keep on, hold of them. And it's a great relief finding that I have found the Carpal Solution to wear to get rid of those symptoms. Yeah, I started wearing the Carpal Solution maybe 3 years ago, and when I first got them, I was a little skeptical that that was going to work. It was the opposite of what my orthopedic doctor had told me. And so I tried the Carpal Solution, and within 2 to 3 days, I probably had at least an 80% change in my hands. 80%. It was drastic. I mean, I came to Dr. Morgan almost in tears saying, they hurt so bad right now, I just can't stand it. And I was coming to him a couple of times a week, and he had asked me if I would try those, and so I did. And by wearing the Carpal Solution, within a couple of days, it was a huge difference. So I continued to wear them. I'm not sure for how long every day, maybe a couple of weeks, and gradually tapered off to now where I'm just wearing them. Maybe I try to wear them at least once a week. If I can remember to put the Carpal Solution on more, I do. But I just try to keep on a maintenance program now. And when my wrists do bother me, I think, oh, you need to put that Carpal Solution on and wear them for a few days. And it amazes me how, even if they are bothering me, after a couple of days, I feel normal. It's very quick, very fast. I would say probably, I had carpal tunnel 13 or 14 years before I tried the Carpal Solution. And so I had suffered that long with living on ibuprofen and Bengay and whatever else I could find to numb my hands, to take the pain away, and the ibuprofen to try to alleviate some of the pain. And when the Carpal Solution came out, that was like an answer to all of my prayers. With my carpal tunnel, I did try, I think you get to a point where you're desperate. I tried everything. I would go to the drugstore and buy every wrist wrap and wrist brace that they had to put on to try to find a relief. I used Bengay, I used numbing creams to get rid of the pain. Yeah, you kind of get to the point where you're desperate and you'll find anything that will work.
And did any of those things work?
No, not at all. None of those worked. I love working in my yard as well as cutting hair, so a lot of the things I enjoy have to do with my hands, and I tend to overuse them a lot. But by wearing the Carpal Solution, I'm able to do all of that I enjoy. I had the numbness and tingling, kind of loss of grip and dropping things, all of that. And so I thought, well, maybe I guess it's time, you know, to go. I had assumed that that was what I had, was carpal tunnel. And so when I went to the orthopedic, he had said, you know, yes, you do have carpal tunnel, and I think, you know, you probably are a candidate for surgery in both hands and possibly career change. And I just said that wasn't an option for me right now, that I enjoyed my job and thought there had to be another solution. So I had been seeing Dr. Robin, and she knew of my problems and said that she had a new doctor and said maybe you should see him. He has been working with hands and kind of specializes in that. So I started seeing Dr. Morgan, and then he came up with the Carpal Solution and said, why don't you give these a try and see how it works? And like I said, I was kind of skeptical, thinking, wow, he thinks that tape is gonna make my hands better. And yeah, within 2 or 3 days, it was a huge difference. And I had, you know, the mobility back. I didn't have I still had some tingling, not as much, and maybe continued to wear it for a few weeks every day, and started to taper off every other day. And now I just wear them periodically as I need to, a couple of times a week for maintenance. And like I said, it's hard to remind myself to put them on when they don't hurt, but I think if I can remind myself of this a couple of times a week, keep it from getting worse. I do typically overuse them, and I think that makes it worse, but I hate to give up what I enjoy. So this was a great solution for me. And I like I said, I try to put the Carpal Solution on a couple of times a week for maintenance. I just keep them on my nightstand. That way I think, oh yeah, you need to maybe wear that tonight to keep, you know, anything from happening. And, you know, or if I have a night where I have a little bit of tingling, I'll think, oh, you need to set one of those out so you remember to put it on tonight. But the Carpal Solution has been a great solution for me. It has corrected a lot of my problems, and even though I still have carpal tunnel, it's manageable, and I can still do everything I enjoy. I would say if you have carpal tunnel, the Carpal Solution is the perfect answer for you. It's very easy for an orthopedic doctor to tell you that you need surgery and possibly a career change, and this is a wonderful alternative that you don't have to change or alter your life. It's a simple, easy solution. You just tape it on every night and wear it, and you still have your life. It's easy for someone else to tell you that you need to change when they're not in your shoes. And it's unfair to you to say you need to change your whole life just because you have bad hands. So by wearing the Carpal Solution, you can do all those things you enjoy. Definitely a way to get your life back. The greatest thing about the Carpal Solution is it's just so simple. You just tape it on and you don't really even feel that they're on there. Whereas the other devices I have worn were bulky, they were uncomfortable, you're immobile, and you need to wear them all day long, which is not convenient. You can't do anything with those other devices on, whereas with the Carpal Solution, it's very flexible. You don't even feel that it's on you, and you wear it at night, and that's the only time you have to wear it. I just think that the Carpal Solution is a great product, and it's amazing how well it works for people who are skeptical of it, and I was the same way. But it definitely does what it says. Very fast. Very fast. It's a great product.
Ouch! Hands and wrists hurting again? Oh, soreness and tingling in your fingers? Is pain in your hands, wrists, or forearms slowing you down? Or even interfering with your job? Well, you can't just ignore it because it won't go away. If you experience tingling or loss of feeling in your fingers or thumbs, weakness or pain in your hands, wrists, or forearms, you may be suffering from a common painful condition, Carpal Tunnel Syndrome. Carpal Tunnel Syndrome sends thousands of American workers home every year and affects millions more who may be unaware of the cause or simply try to ignore the pain. Until now, treating the pain meant paralyzing braces or splints, steroid injections, or even painful invasive surgery. But now, there's a better solution. the Carpal Solution.